Today we're going to do a little bit of change in the pacing. The current situation is that I just finished the Sylvan's Cradle part of the story, and we're about to open up the doors to going in and running another realm as part of the storyline. However, just because, again, I've kind of moved through this at a pace to not show some of the behind the scenes as to how things get made, or what is involved in creating the character's equipment, this is a good time to pause on just skipping that and show the process and some of what I've learned along the way. This is Old Jon, and the character is currently wearing some gear made from materials that came from the Jabberwocky, but since we just beat a better or more difficult boss, I'm hoping that the materials we gained from that battle will make better gear. I will be going into first person for this portion to not distract with the movement in the camera movement. And so let's just go ahead and do that now. We're going to jump right into the game and show the process of making things. And I'm going to talk through some of my observations so far and what I think I've learned about how this works. So here we go. Welcome to Adventures with Old Jon. Today we're playing Nightingale. All right, first off, we'll just kind of go through and say that I do not know the best method for setting up a workshop within this game, except to say that having all of the different attunements, I think they're called, hang on a second, they're called augmentations, I apologize. So the augmentations are all these little knickknacks that you can place around your workbenches in order to bolster them in some way. So for example, this little knickknack that's a hand planer increases or decreases refinement time, and while refining wood products nearby, it increases wood product yield by 20%. And so we've got a handful of things like that. I'm not going to show you all of them. Just know that in the layout here, I've tried to put the knickknacks that go to that bench on or near the bench. And the way that I figured to do that, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong or if there's a better way of doing this, was to pack in all of the knickknacks that could possibly adjust the workbench's outcome on the workbench itself or on a table nearby. And so for my layout, I've put in the kind of the basics that don't interfere with each other on the end. There's a few extra bins down here. We'll get to those in just a second. And then just kind of stacked everything up here as kind of like an island in the middle of this kitchen space in the house, and placed everything in a row. And that way, as I come around the back, you'll see that these are all just generic tables. And then anything back here, except for the refined enchanter's focus, everything back here is effectively just the knickknacks that are supposed to enhance the functionality of those tools. Now, because we just beat Sylvan's Cradle boss, theoretically that opens the door in our guidebook here, in progression, I think, rather, for more stuff in the Tier 2 segment. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that, because anything that used to be in red that's down here, the Welkin's Reach remaining things, basically by opening up by beating the boss battle there in Sylvan's Cradle, it opened up this extra tier of things that we can unlock. So we're going to go through that and learn, and this will be maybe 1 or 2 episodes of me learning how the system functions in order to better my gameplay and hopefully lead to less frustration, because I'll understand the mechanics of it better. So we're going to go ahead and do that together. And I will make a side quest out of trying to get Jean as a follower, and maybe if I can't, then maybe seeing if we can find Bess again. So in the meantime, though, let's just go through these different new things that I can unlock and see what there is. I'm looking at it fresh with fresh eyes, and I have not looked up any extra detail online. So this is all new and all fresh to me. So a glamour station. A glamour station is used to apply different appearances to your items and tools through the use of glamour tokens. Beloved by socialites, this focus mimics fey glamour to alter perception of certain materials The NTTC stresses the danger of such magic, yet their bias leaves most unconvinced. So I've been picking up a few glamour tokens along the way, and I wondered what they were for, and apparently it is for a cosmetics table. That's interesting. It's not terribly difficult to see that people will probably enjoy doing that, but for now we're just going to leave that open. Clearly there is a cot. There seems to be a type of pet bed for a caterpillar. Let's see what that is. It doesn't seem to indicate what that means, so I may make one of those because I do have some cats around. It's kind of entertaining. That one's with a catine. Not sure what that is. So again, let's we'll consider those, but again, I only got 1,200 of these tokens, or these essences, level 2 essences. So instead of doing these arbitrary things, we may wait until the end and see if we have extras left over for this sort of thing. But I appreciate having the cats and stuff walking around. It's kind of entertaining. Voyager steam trunk, or steamer trunk rather. Probably just more capacity, I'm assuming. And then of course we go into, what is this? A elegant dining chair and some other accoutrement for making your household look better. It doesn't seem that the household materials or build pieces really have much to do with the gameplay. So I'm just going to hold off on those for now. The ones that are unlocked over on this end seem to be a little bit more impactful. But let's go down to refinement and see what we have available now. So let's see. Doesn't look like anything new on the refinement side. So those are already unlocked. The tools, though, I am very much interested in doing the tools, especially considering I now think we're going to build into the tools a little bit better materials, and we'll go through what that might look like. But it looks like we get a potential for a rugged short bow. Not sure if that's say base range damage is 170, whereas the base range damage on the longbow is higher. But there's probably a better reason for it. So durability is higher by a long shot. Critical damage is about the same. Magic power is more. I don't know if the rate of firing is different, but that's an interesting premise there. A rugged sling bow. Now I haven't been using the sling bow a whole lot because I didn't know how to make it more powerful, but this should open up the door to using that again. Rugged explosive grenade satchel. You'll probably have noted that I don't really use grenades. I just find myself in a situation where needing a block is more important. The rugged Lancaster. That is a heavy 4-barreled handgun. Just to contrast it, it has a ranged damage of 135 to the pistol, which doesn't really show you much there, but the pistol doesn't have very good range damage. I mean, it has good range damage, but not really. Blunderbuss, I'm not seeing much detail here because I've opened up some extra bits there, but the rugged shotgun, clearly a better option than a blunderbuss. Has reasonably good base range damage here. Rugged lever action rifle, hoping that means the firing rate is faster, especially reload time, because that is driving me bonkers with the refined bolt action rifle. But it does appear that the ranged damage might be a little bit lower. Rugged wood axe, that does not look like a wood axe to me. It looks like a pike or something crazy. Melee damage is 120, which is almost double the refined wood axe, which I don't even use. Mining pick, same deal, I'm guessing. Yeah, so I'm assuming to a degree that the mining pick and the refined wood axe would be necessary for potentially hitting or mining harder materials. I don't really know that, but a lot of games seem to use that. The thing we have been using a lot is the refined axe pick. Melee damage on the base on the newest one, the rugged axe pick, is 102. Again, about double the refined axe pick, so that could be a really good thing for me to put together. Looking at this one here is the rugged maul, being one of the things that I do use quite a lot, a maul. And again, not terribly important. Like, it's a lot more durable, it appears, and it's got a little bit more weight. I don't know if that affects the speed at which you can swing it, but again, that's one of those things where at this point, if you're using an axe pick, your right click, which is normally used for defense if you have a single-use weapon, the right click on the axe pick is to use the pick side, and so there is no block mechanism in the axe pick, which is kind of obnoxious. But anyways, I don't really use them. Maybe I should figure out how, but the throwing knives, and then it looks like the rugged sickle is a bit better. We might want to make one of those. I haven't figured out a use for the hammers yet, guys. If anyone in the comments wants to let me know what they're for, it just seems like a really low value weapon. I'm not really sure why it's even in the game, so if there's something I'm missing here, just let me know. But yeah, right now the rugged hammer. There is a rugged umbrella glider. Durability is probably what is most key here. Yeah, it doesn't appear. Maybe stamina regeneration is a little bit better. So yeah, that would be worth looking at. And then down on the very end, rugged climbing picks at melee damage of 108, durability of 500. And they're a little bit heavier, but melee damage and of course durability being quite a bit better than the previous generation. Okay, so those are worth looking at. We'll open them up if we can. Let's take a look at the defensive options in our clothing. So we're currently wearing rumpled breeches and all the things that were available there, but it appears we've got a few more options here. Let's see if any of these have different stats on them, or if they're all just the same with a different style. So it looks like 33,208.8 rather, and they're all the same. They use different materials, but they are all the same stats, it looks like. So this is probably just a stylistic choice. And we'll take a look at those, but I think based on the design of the pants, stupid as it seems, classic breeches looks like it's a little bit low, or medium waist. And then we've got a high-waisted pant. And I'm guessing high-waisted shorts maybe, like ankles, I'm not really sure. The Drayman's ensemble is 30-3200.8, and same as the NTT shirt. So if you like suspenders, you go with this one. If you like the vest, you go with this one. I'm guessing that's kind of the play out. We probably go with the vest because I kind of like that look, but I'll figure that out later. I'm not into that at the moment. Health regeneration, everything's the same. Okay. On the hat side of things, you got a what is this, a derby kind of hat going on, top hat, and the dapper top hat. So this one's a little bit more like a highwayman's hat. I'm not sure which of those two I find more interesting. We'll try to make a character out of this. Gaitered boots, NTTC boots, and rugged rough-hewn boots. They all seem to have the same stats to them. And then here we've got stirrup boots. Are those the same? Yep, those same, just on a different track apparently. And then the NTTC duster. Okay. And a tailcoat jacket. Probably end up with the duster. I'm not sure about tailcoats. That seems a little fancy for an Old Jon type character, but we'll see. We've got a desert scarf that might be available as opposed... it's a jacket or a scarf. That's essentially your choice. These two fill the same slot. So 3200, 115, and that's why they have the same stats. All right, and then down here to the pack, get a little bit more concise looking pack. I like the look of that. 3150, 200.5, 3150, or sorry, 2100. Yeah, okay, so the NTTC pack we will absolutely learn. So let's go ahead and just do that one right now. And let's take a look at these gloves. So we're currently running, I believe, the smithing gloves. Both the trapper and the smithing gloves have the same stats as well. And we've got unadorned, it's 3015 200, and NTTC 3015 200. So not sure which of those is worth doing. I will only be unlocking whatever Old Jon is going to use. And then on the very far end, we have an augmentation, the construction press. I think this is an augmentation. Yes, gives clothing crafted nearby weight limit ++. I'm not sure if that's like a +2 or how that works exactly. Gives all tools crafted nearby durability. Gives hammers crafted nearby damage and stamina. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and obviously learn that. And we'll get, what is this, a construction press? Let's go ahead and build that now so I don't forget that we need one. All right. Oh, it's quite large. Okay. All right, well, let's see if we've got room in the back area back here and how close it needs to be. I'm gonna see if I can tuck it in here, even though it's kind of overlapping everything. May not look pretty, but I don't really know exactly how close it has to be to things to be effective. So we're just gonna pack it in and see if we can get it almost to the middle. We need some stone block. This is where normally I wouldn't show this on camera, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can get some stone blocks since I seem to not have any. I'm going to be really careful here. It does appear that things are broken or close to breaking. That's what it was. Don't think we have essence to really fix that stuff for the time being, but let's go find some stone block and we'll get that augmentation built and get back to looking at the codex there, or the progression rather. Okay, so there's a few blocks down here that we can use to create, I think, or nope. It's the right model, but it's too close to one of these things. It won't harvest. Since we're out running around, I'm going to switch back into third person mode just for easier, I don't know, orientation. And okay, so here's a model of a stone that's rounded. That's one we can harvest. Grab a few of these. I'm not going to go too far with it, but running around and grabbing a few stone blocks is always valuable. So, one of the things that I would like to note here is that these are all sandstone. And sandstone is, from what I can understand, the lowest value rock in the game. This is very common, but it is not very hard as far as the build process is concerned. And so for those things that require, you know, if you want to upgrade something that uses stone as a component, then you're going to want to find something better than sandstone to use for the build. So if we get into a build today and we end up needing something that's more strenuous, more strong, I guess, than sandstone, we may have to make a journey for it, or head to a different realm for it, because all I find around here is sandstone. Although I think I had some flint or granite, I can't remember, at one point as well, and I'm going to have to see if I can find any of that. Alright, so for the purposes of what we were just doing though, we're going to get a couple more just to have them in case there's something else I have to build, and then we're going to go back and take a look at the rest of that progression chart. And we got down here and went further than I had thought we had. Now I don't know in multiplayer mode if the trees spawn after a time, but here in single player mode they do not, and so you can see I've relatively deforested the mountainside here in order to build a house that, while it looks very similar to my own, it is not as functional. Oh, that's a foundation issue we shall not be correcting right now. Alright. Now before the end of the Halloween season, I'm not sure when that will be, I do need to kill more autumnal bound. I probably will not be doing that on camera, as it is a slog is the right way of putting that. That's just a long process. Okay, here we go. Stone blocks, construction press tier 2 is now produced. Now it is relatively speaking within range of all of the tables, so I'm hoping it helps. We'll see. Now let's get back to that progression chart. So in the progression chart we just created, this is all about the tools and clothing and all that stuff. This is anytime we make something now, in theory, the weight limit, durability, damage, etc. will be increased by a small percentage. Moving on then to the consumables, we have a whole new unlockable option list for consumables, including some augmentations. So let's just go down the list. We've got a pot pie, That is a maximum of health of 100, and moving down the line, the effect duration is longer, so that's good. And it appears also to have stamina and health regeneration in there, so that's a pretty good deal. We've got a fishing trap here, which is an augmentation. While cooking fish dishes nearby, it's about time, so it takes less time to make, and also increases their yield. So I'm guessing that means the potential for better, I don't know, health or bonuses or something. I'm not really sure. Gives fishing rods crafted nearby stamina. So I don't use them very often, but let's go ahead and make one of these, the fishing traps, so that our fishing poles, when we finally do get around to using them, will be as strong as possible. Things that you're going to make your fishing pole on the workbench, which is this thing down at the end. So I'm just going to see if I can tuck this one in underneath. And we need more rope and more line. So we'll go down to the end where the spinning wheel is, and that's where you make rope, I think. Yes. But to make rope, you need thread. So we're going to make thread. One of the things I didn't realize until far too late is that by instead of clicking autofill, which I was just clicking autofill to make everything, you can click on the actual item slot, and any of that type of item nearby, the different kinds, will show up in the list. And you can sort by a different types here, ascending or descending. I think it's just alphabetical. But here on the as you hover over them, on the right side of the screen, you're going to see a pop-up. I kind of wish it was right next to the thing in this blank space, but either way, you see it on the right-hand side of the screen, and it tells you the attribute bonuses or attribute bonuses for that particular item. And those attribute bonuses convert into attribute bonuses for the material that you're making, and therefore affect also the tools or the clothing or whatever, or food that you are attempting to make. So this is where I was missing this key part of the construction process early on in order to make more robust materials. In this case, though, because we are running a really basic thing, I think we can probably just use animal fiber prey, which is one of the lower end items. Again, just basic stuff here. And we'll click on that and go ahead and hit craft. And it'll put a little bit of time into it, but now we have some thread. Let's see how much thread we need to make rope. We need 2 thread to make rope, and we didn't make enough there, so we're going to go ahead and do that one more time. Animal fiber. I think I'll just make a couple of them just in case. I'm not really sure how much rope we need for the thing that we were building. Many of these things that we build, these augmentations, it's just like a build it once scenario. So let's see here. Thread, prey, that's the one we just made. Let's go ahead and make 2 bits of rope. By the way, if you are putting together a pile of boxes like this one here in the corner, and that is where all of your stuff is being stored, or however you're doing your storage, if you're not seeing your items showing up in that menu, it might be because the trunks have their settings turned off for remote pulling. So you can set that up by hitting E here and opening the menu, and on the right hand side where this little floret is, you can click on it and choose crafting and building allowed. Now I have survivors not allowed right now because when Bess was here, she would just randomly throw things in here, and it made all the sorting get all over the place. I have not yet resorted them. Okay, so we made some rope. I don't remember what else we need. Line. Okay, so rope, we should have enough now. We need to make 1 more line. Same process coming on over here, I think it is. Actually, no, it doesn't appear that we have the ability to make line here. Maybe it's in the tanning station. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So tanning station also has a lot to do with fiber, so we're going to go ahead and run the animal fiber for that one. We only need 1 line to make this augmentation work. So we're going to take that on over. There we go. Fishing trap is now assigned to that area as well. So back to our progression. And there was line, that's what, or the fishing trap rather. Moving down, we have coffee and crumpets. Really decent duration. Weight's pretty low. Hunger mitigation's medium, not very high. Stamina's rather low. I think it's more for fun than anything else. Spring rolls. Decent duration. Kind of a smattering of other things. Again, not a hot priority in my opinion, but it looks like it's made out of really basic stuff, so probably a really cheap thing to carry around. Spiced tubers, so cooked carrots, I guess, and potatoes. Yeah, again, decent duration, but medium on the mixed hunger mitigation, all that stuff. I want to double check something here. Yeah, so it's going to be just a hair better than the... Oh no, not even. It's a hair worse than the salad, so I'm not even going to touch that. It's basically raw edible plants. This one requires a potato. I'm not really sure. I haven't run into potatoes yet, but just notable that that's not... It's probably something you can farm easily. I'm not really sure. Alright, moving down the list. Broth, stew, gazpacho. Not as great as I was hoping for. Entertaining, but not really all that much better than stew. So stew's going to be my go-to, continuing to make that. Gazpacho lasts a little bit longer, but as far as hunger mitigation, I guess, is lower in stew. But there are so many other things like max health and stamina that this doesn't even have, that's not worth it. Okay, so cooking knife I've already made. Let's see what we have here. Cooking augments. So there's quite a few that you could build with this one unlock. And they have different recipes. Refinement time on all food crafted nearby increases food yield by 40%. I'm not sure if that's 40% per unit piece that you put out, or if it's 40% if you put all of them out. So we're going to learn that together. Let's find out. So we're going to go into guidebook once more, into building, and it should be at the top. These are the new augmentations we have not yet built. So let's go through them together. We've got traditional kettle. This increases food yield by 40%. This one also does. So I'm not sure if they stack, but we're going to go ahead and build one of each and just stick them over by the food processing area. And so let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, they're tiny little things. So over here in my food processing area, my food area, if you will, I'm just going to stick these up on this top shelf or this chest. And you don't have to build them right, or sorry, you don't have to... Oh wait, what did I just made? I think I just made a cast iron pot. Is that what I made? Yep, okay. Let's make a frying pan. Just kind of make it look like we've got a handful of things up here. Okay. And it was a handful of things. It was a cast iron pot, a frying pan. I should have taken notes as to what was new. A kettle. There was definitely a kettle. Oh, it was a grinder. Sorry, meat grinder. Ooh, that's interesting looking. Let's, what would be the most effective? Yeah. We're gonna want to go like this. Nah. No. We'll put it down here. There's your meat grinder. And then the other one was the kettle. So let's place the kettle. I guess we'll put the kettle down here by the ground. I don't have a good spot for it right now. Fasteners and a reservoir are needed for this. I don't know if I have that, but we'll find out. So we had the reservoir. I remember picking one up. But fasteners, we need fasteners for that one. We're going to need fasteners for that one. That's done. That's done. So we need fasteners. One fastener, two fasteners. Let's see where we make fasteners. Fasteners. There it is, right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we need two of those. Looks like we have plenty with tin ingots. I definitely don't want to use something more valuable than that to make fasteners. So tin ingots. Now it's currently here because there is not any fuel in the station, so we're going to go ahead and add that fuel. We'll just go ahead and use sticks because I've got a lot of them, and go for it. And it made those fasteners rather quickly. So we'll take those over and finish off this part of the build. Now, in theory, that'll make this make more food per food, if that makes sense. And I think it might be worth noting, we'll get to that pretty quickly because I got a decent amount of salads and stuff built in here, but always worth having more in the fridge, for lack of a better term. I think I should remember that's in the progression. We're going to be doing some of that. Alright, so back to the progression here. Of the things that we have available to us to unlock as far as food goes right now, I wasn't terribly impressed with any of them as far as what they offer. Maybe spring rolls, but again, it's kind of... I got enough in the salads and stuff, so we're not going to be making any new food right now. On the magic side of things, where the new cards are, this is something I really did want to look through, as there seems to be quite a few new things to unlock here. I've gotten a few of them unlocked that I probably haven't even used yet. Like Charm of the Wind, I don't know if I've used that. Oh yes, I have. That's for the umbrella to glide faster. Let's take a look at Charm of Thrifty Throwing. Restores a potion of a thrown weapon's durability when you hit a weak point with it. Sure, if you're using throwing knives, worth unlocking. I'm not, so we'll just leave that for now. Charm of Force increases the strength of your next shove after blocking an attack. By the way, if you've been watching the series with me, you'll know that if you're running third person for fighting in battle and you're trying to use block and shove, it is offset to the left so dramatically that it doesn't work. So if you are trying to do it in third person, just know it is not worth it. Go ahead and shift over to first person for those battle scenes if you can. And the alignment between the character's hitbox and the bad guy's hitbox will align properly, and you'll be able to use your block and shove. I hope they fix that, but that's what it is right now. So Charm of Force, I might unlock that, but increases the strength of your next shove after blocking an attack. I'll wait till the end to unlock this because I want to see some other things, but that's a good one. All right, Charm of the Pitcher. Empowers your throwing knives to deal more damage, but throwing them takes slightly longer. So we'll save that. I don't use throwing knives yet. Charm of the Spell Sword. Increases the damage of your next melee attack after casting an enchantment. Now that will come in handy. I do in fact use enchantments and melee combined quite regularly, especially on the hammers, or the maul. Alright. Charm of Thorns. Deals damage to creatures whose attacks you block, damage based on the melee damage of your weapon. Okay. So it deals damage when you block the creature. When they're attacking, it deals damage if you're blocking them. So they take damage upon a block. The damage is based on the melee damage of your weapon. So I wonder if it's like a percentage where, like, if your melee weapon is 100, they take like 10 damage if you block them or something like that. That's good to know. That might be useful as well. Again, between the two of these, I probably would go with Spell Sword over Thorns on the Maul, just because I do that enchantment thing and it kind of empowers me to do that more. The Charm of something I can't pronounce. This charm restores stamina on your next unarmed hit after dodging. Now, I don't know how to dodge, so if that's something we can do, if there's like a double punch or double hit or something we can do to dodge, I have up until now been unable to do a dodge. I will have to figure out how to dodge. Apparently that's a thing, so... Alright, we'll see. I've just been soaking the whole time, which is super obnoxious. Alright, what is this one? Track Offering. Reveals the nearest path to the closest creature that will bestow a gift upon those who provide a suitable offering. At the termination of the path, the enchantment will point towards the creature. Okay. I don't know what that means, but that seems like a cool adventure token thingy. I had no idea that there were even creatures that would give you stuff, apparently. So that's interesting. Summon Swarm. Launches a swarm of bees that seek a target creature and deal damage over time. Now, that could be entertaining. Oberon's Bounty. This one I did have before on one of my axes. I got it as a bonus from a chest or something. And this is a really good one to have on the axe pick, or axe or pick, whatever you're using. Empowers the caster's tool to deal increased damage to the resource nodes and increase their yield on a hit. Can be charged to increase blah blah blah. So basically, if you increase this and you use it, you can knock down a tree in one hit, for example. Okay. Let's see what the cards are for these. By the way, I did unlock the corruption card. Doesn't really tell me what it does. I don't really know what the corruption card does. Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry. The damage of your melee attack is increased, but your health regeneration is severely decreased. Alright. Actually, the corruption card might be a good one to use in combination with Oberon's Bounty, so that you could hop into a place and like harvest a whole bunch of stuff, like in the forest or something like that. Assuming you weren't in battle, that might be a decent one to play. The Thinned Veil card. Play this card to move more quickly, leap safely to great heights, and use stamina more efficiently. Could be interesting, especially if you're trying to traverse a wide open area. It sounds like just lower gravity effectively. The Marksman card. Play this card to increase the damage you deal with rifles and yield... Oh, sorry, the yield when crafting rifle ammunition, as well as the damage you deal with magical ammunition, while reducing the damage you deal with other guns. So rifles specifically, but handguns would be lower end, so you'd basically be specializing if you did this. The Outlaw card. Play this card to increase the damage you deal with pistols, the yield when crafting pistol ammunition, as well as the damage you deal with magical ammunition, and then reducing everything else. The Blunderbuss card. Same deal, so for crafting shotguns and blunderbusses, but everything else suffers. The Trickster card. Play this card to leap to great heights, resist injury, and stagger enemies more easily. Damage dealt will be reduced, however, and further anomalous effects should be expected. Okay. So... jump around and be a goofball, but also you might have a little bit of the Wabbajack vibe going on there. Blood Moon Eminent. Play this card to increase the chance that enemies will drop rare items, but decrease your maximum health and regeneration rate. So there's another version of this, and this basically just makes it more difficult, but also you get more stuff out of it. So if you're feeling, you know, particularly tankish, that's a good one to play. The Settler card. Play this card to increase the yield of refined building materials and crops, and improve the fortitude of your structures while reducing the rate at which you recover stamina. Probably a good one to play if you set up your house in a dangerous area, which I have not. The Tavern card. Play this card to prolong the effects of a meal and rest, grow tired more slowly, and recover your stamina more quickly. That could be a good one to do. Yeah, that might not be a bad option, but we'll see. Astrolabe Major Realm cards. So Astrolabe Forest, Desert, and Swamp. Again, I don't know. Maybe that's a level 3 thing. But either way, it opens up 3 cards, and since the only ones I had up until then were the Antiquarians, I'm going to go ahead and do that one for sure now. We may be opening some new realms today as well. Let's take a look at tile sets. This is for building. I think I've got these all unlocked. No, I do not. What are the Desert Foundation? Desert Stairs, so things that are desert themed. That's neat, but that's fine. I will probably not be using those right now. And then, of course, the special event. So I haven't shown this yet, but the special event, which is the Halloween thing going on right now, I am about halfway through. It gets incrementally more and more difficult. I would like, hopefully, before it ends, of course, to get to the point where I'm unlocking the jack-o'-lantern helmet. That is a bit of a side quest I've been working on off camera, but it is kind of fun. So I think the casket, don't know if it can be used as a bed, but that's kind of a fun little thing. And of course we've got gravestone clusters and stuff, which I actually would like to have for decoration. You've probably seen some pumpkins as we've been moving in and out, but the jack-o'-lantern helmet is an actual helmet. It's not very high power, but it is entertaining, and you could put it on your helper, for example. Sorry, Gene, if you end up seeing this in real life, just know that if I find a character named Gene in the game, you absolutely are going to be a jack-o'-lantern helmet character for a time. Alright, so those are the unlocks. I have a few things unlocked already, like those cards. I don't think that I have anything particularly valuable set up in the two realms that I have unlocked here. So for example, down here is a forest realm card played, and up here is a swamp realm card played, and I haven't really done anything with those spaces. So since I can make the astrolabe versions, I'm guessing those are a higher value, maybe level 3. I think that would be worth making. So let's go ahead and make those, and let's see what comes of it. So you would make the cards over on the Enchanter's Focus, and we're gonna go ahead and see if we can make those cards, if we have the materials for them. It'll be down near the bottom, I think. Okay, so Astrolabe, Desert, Forest, and Swamp. Let's take a look and see what's necessary for the Desert. Tier 2 plus is what it says. And we're missing tier 1 essence, and that's a good thing, because I did harvest a few random like stone bits. Here we are. Let's extract that as tier 1 essence. And we should now have at least a few. Yep. Probably enough to make these cards, I hope. Okay, so scrolling on down. Let's go with the desert. So I think this is probably, actually, you know what? I don't know. Hang on a second. This kind of goes back to, I want to make sure I'm not just autofilling, because it's really easy to just click autofill. I don't know if it matters. So on the paper, we've got coated paper and then paper. I don't know. Okay, so hang on a second. Injury resistance. If these cards are also having attribute bonuses, it makes me wonder if the attribute bonus ties over to the world. I don't really know, but these are both the same. I don't know why they would be different. So injury resistance is both 2.5%. I guess we'll use the coated one because it kind of looks neat. Ink. Kind of again the same thing. I don't know what is better here to do, and if it even matters for card production. But let's just kind of go through it real quick, because so bound Ichor's stealth rating 10 and Maleficium resistance is 2.5. The mushrooms is power, stamina regeneration, max stamina, maximum health. The other one is a little bit different stats wise. Fire resistance and poison resistance. We're going to be going into the desert with this one, so let's see if there's anything that could be helpful for a desert maybe. Stam regeneration, magic power, and resistance to the bad stuff. So let's try that. Let's do the alchemical ink. I don't know, again, I have no idea if this really does anything in the cards, but I don't want to make a stupid choice here, and so we're just going to kind of, play it by ear. So it takes 25 essence to make one of these cards, so we'll probably have to make a run to get more of these cards made up, but let's go ahead and craft it. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it down, and we'll set one up over here. That way I'm not closing existing portals, as I may be able to go back to those for other materials. These lumber, ingot, wire, and synchronous lotus. Now, I clearly had an ingot on me, I think. We should have lumber and the wire and all that stuff, but hang on a second. Let's go into the build mode and move this component. We're allowed. Cannot be moved. Okay. Well then fine. We'll remove it for just a second. Take that ingot back. Yeah, so I already had that ingot in my bombardier ingot. Yeah, definitely don't want to use that. I mean, I'm sure it would be useful for something else. Let's take a look at this, the requirements for this this component that I want to build, this gate. We need 10 lumber, 7 ingot, 3 wire, and 1 lotus. Do not know where in these trunks they are. So let's, as we're kind of looking through this stuff, just go ahead and dump everything I don't need into them at the moment. This bothers me just as much as it does anyone else who is slightly OCD, but okay, so we needed some ingots. I will take the tin ingots, I think. Hang on a second, I apologize. My memory is very short. We need 7 ingots, so 10 lumber, 7 ingots, 3 wire, 1 lotus. Alright, so 7 of these. We need 10 of the lumber. Let's see if we have anything other than ribbon wood to use. Doesn't look like it. I want to use that for something else. So we may have to get some lumber. And then but we'll see, because it might be in another bin. Looks like we have, okay, so 10 lumber, normal lumber, that'll work. Okay. And then there was 3 wires, I think. 3 wire. And 1 synchronous lotus we'll also need in this. Gonna have to sort this stuff out eventually. Okay, so we don't have wire. Could have swore we had a synchronous lotus available to us. Maybe it was in that first bin. Yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. So synchronous lotus, so the only thing we're missing are the wire, right? Or is the wire, rather. Doop, doop, yeah, okay, so 3 wire. So wire's made in the refined smelter. I think. Yep, right down here. Again, we're going to pull tin for this, because we have a lot of it, and it's cheap. And we need to make 3 of them. It appears that we have run out of sticks for fuel. And we'll wait this out. Normally I don't wait it out, but for the purposes of today's exploration and kind of showing how this works, we will. Okay, so that should mean that we have the materials that we need in order to open up a new portal or to make a new portal. Let's see if there's a better place to put it before I drop it in place. I wonder if I could fit it in this area right here. Doesn't look like it. So let's see if we can put it maybe outside on the porch. Nope. Not sure why it won't clip there, but it is working down here. This is probably going to be a placement that we can use a couple, or to put a couple of these things. Ooh. Alright, so I accidentally pressed a button there, but okay. Alright, so we'll park it right here by the bottom of the stairs. Just in case we want to change this up and maybe put others further down. We should be able to build this. Oh, I could have swore I had enough ingots made. I didn't have... Hang on a second. Tin ingots. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, did I make a mistake here? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure I didn't put the wrong stuff in there. Lumber, wire. No, tin ingots. I guess I didn't have 7 in there. I thought I did. I apologize. Did I just not grab them? Alright. 7 ingots, yep. I must have used the ingots that were in my pocket to make the wire. That's what happened. Okay, so let's try that one more time. There we are. Go down. Line that up. And give it a build. Cool. Now, it's the crude portal. And we've got that portal card, so we're going to go ahead and open that portal with our new Astrolabe Desert card. I have collected a few things along the way. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Oh, it looks like 100% harvested stone and ore yield. That'll be good, because we're going to need some of that, for sure. Alright. Now we're going to hop into this particular realm just to take a look at it, and then we'll come right back out. I don't want to be in there for super long. That is not the point of right now. It takes a while for these to establish, and I think that's because there might be some level of PvP in online gaming, but for now this is just part of the story. It takes a long time for these to hook up with the other side. Okay, but once they're established, if you don't shut them down or turn them off, they'll stay on forever and they don't require a secondary power source. So I don't have this one named. I don't think if you... Oh, you can rename it. Okay, hang on. Let me do that real quick so I don't forget. We're just going to go with Forest. Until I choose to change it, that's what that one is. This one we're going to name Astro Desert. There's another portal down the official portal for this particular map is down the hill from here, and it is open to another desert, an antiquarian desert. Let's go ahead and name this one Ant Swamp. This is the antiquarian swamp. Okay. Now, my gear is currently breaking. I don't like that, and I don't have a way to repair it at this time. So, I guess we'll just not do that. And instead, we're going to eat some more bread and some salad, like we're at, you know, someplace with free breadsticks and salad. I was thinking Olive Garden. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and head in here again. Not going to spend too much time in here because I do not want to waste. But here we go. All right, so here we are in the Astrolabe Desert. Think, and just for reference, I'm thinking this must be because it's got all of that like equipment and stuff in the distance there. That makes it a little bit different than the Antiquarian Desert, which really only had like stone monuments and things. So let's take a look at the map really quickly here. Yeah, it's a desert. There's nothing really running around. There are a few. I found out that these things running around are kind of like minor battles, minor boss battles, and the materials that they generate are make better gear. So they're worth like seeking out and fighting if you have the wherewithal to do that. But there's not a lot going on here. Interesting. The realmic transmuter is pretty far over there. It's actually, you know what? That's not too far. I wonder if I have any good cards I could play to make this place a little bit better. There doesn't seem to be... Your magic power is modestly increased by an active realm card. Okay, let's see if we have any active realm cards we could throw at this place just to make it a little better than it is. We have one for fishing. We have the Explorer realm card. Let's see if we have anything for harvesting. Might do that one. The Utopia card. That's not really good for harvesting, though. The Treasuring card. Play this card to increase the chance of finding essence. I made a whole bunch of those because that's actually very useful. And Tempest. Potency of your... So maybe we roll over and run the Treasury card, because the only one active here right now is a magic increase. And I'd rather have this be a positive, beneficial location for us in the future. It is a different desert, I think, every time, so you might be able to like replay the same card and have it re-roll to something else. Okay, so it's a desert, but it never stops raining. That's kind of funny, actually. All right, we're gonna change that though. This shouldn't take too long, and so one of the things I realized when you're jumping up the hills and using your climbing picks, it took me a while to realize that you actually do in fact have to use the jump button at the same time. Sometimes it doesn't work, so let's hop into third-person mode for the time being, so we'll be traversing this space a little bit, traveling across it. And that's something I did want to check while we're here, is to see what kind of essence is generated at this location. If it's tier 1, 2, or 3. I don't think we're in a position to get tier 3 yet. No, it's tier 2. Alright, let's see if these guys are harvesting anything. Doesn't look like it. Not sure. Okay, let's see if we can get over to where the realmic transmuter is. So hang a right around this pile of stone. Actually, maybe we should just go up it. I need to fix my climbing picks here. That's a good texture. Nice little water running down the front here. Still a little quirky there with using the climbing picks and how they work. It's really funny to see both the soaking and the hot icon at the same time. And there's some sort of new animal there in the right. Looks like a... I don't know, some sort of eared animal? I don't know. I don't want to deal with the animals right now. Yeah, that one definitely looks like a predator of some sort. And I don't have any backup at the moment, so let's continue on. Let's get over here to the top of this outcropping at the end here. And see if that's something we can use to leap over and glide our way down to where the realmic transmuter is. Or transmitter, or whatever it is called. Okay. Alright, there in the distance you can see the realmic transmitter, or transmuter. So we're going to go ahead and head over there. We'll change the environment here in favor of more essence, and then we'll go ahead and head back to our abeyance realm, which is our home area there. And well, in the home, we're going to go ahead and continue building out some stuff, and it might require some grinding, which again I've never really done with you guys on camera, but it's something I think worth showing. Okay, so here we are at the realm of transmitter, or the transmuter. We're going to play the treasury card. And you'll see how it changes. No more perpetual rain. Sorry, folks. I'm here for essences. And so, across the map now, I have effectively changed the weather. I can imagine that being really frustrating if you were in a multiplayer map and people kept changing the weather on you. But yeah, as of right now, there's no positives or negatives there in the lower left-hand corner. The only thing really that is changed is we now have the potential to see more essence. Wow, there's a big old scorpion right there. Is he coming for me? I think he might be coming for me. Oh, he's definitely coming for me. Okay, well, this might be a little bit more of a battle than I'd hoped. There's only one, right? I don't want to attack him if I can help it. He's definitely not a good guy. But he's also not special. Oh, but he is tough. Alright, first person shooter, guys. This is what we have to do occasionally. Alright, I'm running out of food. My stamina is going to suffer from that here. It's a good hit. Unfortunately, to get food in my character into Old Jon, you have to stop, and I don't want to stop. Okay, so he's taking off. Let's go ahead and head back to the house then. Oh, here he's back. Gonna eat some meat and bread and have a good old-fashioned meal, waiting for him to hang out. I wonder if firing a blunderbuss at him would be a good idea. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I've got any of these. So, mistakes probably about to be made. Let's find out. It's interesting he's not turning around. Alright. Just walking backwards. Item, that's a swap to me. So clearly I am in need of a much more powerful weapon in order to, like, say, one-shot these things, which I imagine should be a thing that could be possible at some point. And if not one shot, then maybe 2 or 3. Basically, oh no, there's quite a few of these things. I would prefer to steer clear and not die right now. So let's head over to this tower, see if it's something we can jump up into, and then we will teleport back from there. Ooh, another one. Good stuff, I say sarcastically. This is not good stuff. Can I climb this tower? Is there a ladder? Doesn't appear to be. Alright, well, okay, so while I get the vibe, this is a desert environment, and in this desert environment, There are new good guys and new bad guys, and these guys are probably bad guys too, so let's steer clear of all of the bad guys. Oh. Good luck, Jon. It sounds like maybe not a good situation right there. Let's go ahead and run. I might be not as fast as them, I'm not really sure. But I do remember from earlier in gameplay that if I can get over to these robots, they might attack the bad guys for me. Okay. Also notable that I think this looks like a place that might find something interesting. I did say I wasn't going to spend a lot of time here. Oh, he scared me. Sorry, guys. Stack of papers. Kinda wish I could pet him. Is the robot after him? Or after me? Can't really tell. Guess it doesn't really matter. I shouldn't really be doing this. Oh. Alright, we're gonna climb up on this. We're gonna jump. Oh! Yeah, we have to give up, because... Okay, so, good to know. There's different, you know, bad guys on that particular map. And let's go ahead and just head back to the home. Alright, so we've opened the door on this one. It's a totally different map, and there might be new resources there. Okay. Old Jon's not doing too hot. Alright, so there's a lot going on here with all these portals and stuff. And I do like that they're available for like moving into or like utilizing, but they are kind of obnoxious. So I think there will probably come a point where I expand this section of the property, or of the house rather, out a little ways to make like a barn, and in the barn put all of the portals, because the sound of the portals in the background is kind of obnoxious. And I've got a lot of them running, so... Alright, so let's head back up in here into the house. Guys, seriously. And right back to what we were doing before. Just check that progression and see what we can make. Okay, so first off, we're pretty low on our tier 1 essence. That's fine, whatever. Magic-wise, the cards are interesting. We've now, it looks like, unlocked those. Did I just unlock all of those already? No. Tier 2. That's the one we were on. I was like, whoa, I don't remember unlocking all of those. Tavern card, was that the one we wanted? There was one about jumping. The Trickster card. This one was interesting. Again, interesting. We'll come back to the cards in a second. I think the more important thing right now is going to be tools and clothing. So let's take a look at the clothing options and see what we want to gear out with. We'll build it, but more importantly, we'll try to build it smart rather than just building a copy of it. So classic breeches. I wish there was a way to kind of see this on the character first. And then explorers cropped breeches. Well, kind of zooming in, like looking at it close, this one looks like it's got some pockets and patches and things of that nature. This one looks like it's a little bit more streamlined. I think I'm going to go with the khaki pants and pockets kind of vibe. So let's just make sure I'm not making a bad choice here. Actually, so here's something worth noting too. Since felt and thread and buttons, there's 3 different items to make the breeches and the cropped breeches, but then there's only 2 items to make the NTTC breeches, and they're all the same base stats. You want to pick something that requires more components, because each component can have its own increased stats, and so by having more components, I imagine you can increase the stats of the things you're using. Now, something I haven't tried yet is combining. So like one type of felt with another type of felt, or one type of thread with another type of thread. I haven't done that yet. I'm usually just trying to find the highest value of any given thing now. So I guess we're going to go with the Explorer's cropped breeches. That'll be my unlock. Oh, well, actually, let me check something. Yeah. Short pants, vest shirt. And now here's a question. I like the bowler cap, but it's not as good a stat as the other ones. I don't know. I don't think Old Jon's young enough to wear the NTTC flat cap. It's not quite the vibe, but I can imagine that looking neat. Although to be fair, I just did choose the short pants rather, and a vest, and if I wore that with a flat cap, I'd look like a newspaper boy. Let's go with this one. It's got that weird little point to it. It's kind of neat looking. I'll take that. All right, cool. Now moving down to the shoes. Gosh, I really don't know, but if I'm going to go with a black cap, I wonder... Hewn boots. Stirrup boots. I do like stirrup boots. They're kind of neat. Don't see any value difference between them. Yeah, let's go ahead and do stirrup boots. Those are kind of interesting. This is a very weird outfit. Alright, now, I already mentioned earlier that I was going to go with the duster, but let's take one more look at that, see what the options are. Cloth red leather, felt cloth buttons, or the desert scarf. I think the duster is probably going to be a better option here. Let's going to learn that one. And then on the gloves, unadorned, NTTC. Let's go unadorned. Okay. So those are going to be the things we build for Old Jon's outfit. Let's see what we need to do to make that happen, and then let's see if we can make some more weaponry as well. Okay, so first things first, this is where it gets really important. We need to take a look. I have a bin specifically for fabled gear or fabled things. So let's open that up first off and take a look in here. The Jabberwock, these are some fabled things that I have fought so far. And I thought I had some more fabled stuff in here, but I guess I don't see it. Did I forget to grab it? I could have swore. I wonder if we forgot to grab it. No, I very specifically remember grabbing it. I do... Hang on a second. I very specifically remember grabbing it. I don't remember if we came back here or if we stuck it in the teleporter device thing. There it is. Yeah, okay. So here we go. Fabled bone from Azazel, or Azazel. Hide. And fabled meat. How much of that hide did we get? Well, there's some other of these things in here too. This is worth noting. How much of that hide did we get? Oh, we got 5. Okay, cool. So we might have enough to make some stuff with. Alright. And we also have the fabled stuff in here. All of that fabled's coming out because I need to make all of my gear with fabled. I don't know how this coloring circumstance works, but we're going to take a look at it. Okay, so crafting items in first person mode, and we'll just do it like this. Oh, I do not want to make stuff here yet. We're going to run down and lean over the refined masonry bench to the refined sewing bench. And let's take a look and see what we have. So again, kind of looking here, we wanted to make stirrup boots. We don't have the materials for it or the components for it set up yet. We wanted to make cropped breeches, the duster, unadorned gloves, the dapper top hat we have stuff for. Let's see what that option is. We have felt, But see, it's prey. And prey is, as you can see in the right-hand corner, just maximum stamina of 10. So it's not very good. We're not going to use that. And then the cloth, we have cloth crude and cloth Holt bloom, which is one of the best things I have right now. But it's really only just maximum health of 20. And so that's, again, one of those things where we don't know if you make it a little bit better. But while we're at it, let's start from something. So let's kind of roll on down here and see what there is. I guess we're going to start with the pack. That's going to be really important for me. So the NTTC pack requires buckles, thread, and cloth. On the cloth side, we're pretty limited. Again, on the thread side, we do not even have thread at this point. Buckles, we don't have any buckles made up. Okay, so let's check in on the buckles situation first. And just see what we could make. Buckles are going to be in the smelter because they're made out of metal. All right, cool. So buckles, we do not have metal plate. And you do have to make metal plate here as well. And so we've got metal plate. We can make a metal plate from, now that's a trick, the Bombardier ingot that I found earlier. But it's got certain stats on it, so like I don't want to necessarily make a buckle out of Bombardier per se, but it says range damage 6%, maleficium resistance 7.5%. So what I don't know is, could I use this on a hat and have those percentages affect the guns and weaponry that I use, or do I have to use this on the gun and or weaponry to make that range damage fit into that? So I don't honestly know, but since it is currently the best thing that I have, and I don't have any brass or anything made up, I'm going to go ahead and make some brass just to compare the stats. So let's go ahead and first make brass. Let's see if we can do that. All right, what do we need for brass? We need a copper and zinc. Ooh, that's not good. I don't have any zinc. I thought it was copper and tin. Okay, let's try that one more time then. Metal plate, ingot, Bombardier. Let's just go ahead and make it. I mean, can't hurt. And we'll add some fuel in here. Don't know if the fuel that you use matters or not. I don't think it would. I don't really know. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Alright, so we made a metal plate. And let's go ahead and look at that metal plate. Statistics, range damage, maleficium resistance is up. So it transferred over from the Bombardier ingot. So the stats have transferred over to the object now. Okay, and then we needed a buckle, I think it was. Okay. So we're making a buckle. And yeah, okay, so the range damage and maleficium resistance has transferred over to the buckle as well. Okay. Alright, what else was in there for that hat? Or sorry, was it the hat we were making? I've sort of lost track. Oh no, it was the pack, maybe, right? Yes, we needed one buckle, so we have that. We needed thread. And then we also needed cloth. So on the thread side, let's come over here to the textile station and see if we have anything to make thread with. That's good. We have bound fiber. We have an advanced bound fiber. What does that do? That's stealth radium is 20%. Let's see what plant fiber Holt is. That's maximum health of 10. Stealth rating, etc., etc. Stealth rating. I think it's about the same though. So I don't know if stealth actually matters. Let's make maximum health be our thing then instead. Don't remember how many of those we needed. Okay, so... Well, that's cooking. Let's take a look one more time. Because I think we needed fabric. Okay, so... We need fabric. Fabric is gonna be here, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember correctly. Is fabric over here? No, we already have the ability to make cloth, sorry. Cloth, crude Holt bloom. Maximum health 20. Crude is nothing. So that's, you know, something we already have that. Hang on a second. Thread, Holt bloom. Maximum health 10. So hang on a second. Let's take a look here. We're looking for cloth. And to make cloth, Holt bloom is the only thing we have that we can make it with. Apparently cannot use bound fiber. Okay. Let's go ahead and make that hat then, I guess. Holt bloom being the thing that appears to be the one thing that we have right now that's of value. So making the pack, we're going to be using the Bombardier buckle. Ooh, you know what? That's something I needed to see. Back. Hang on. Nope. Cancel. Cancel. Back. Pack. Okay, so take a look at the stats here. Durability, environment, magic. Anytime you see a green, it indicates that it's better than what you're currently using. But let's see what happens when I add that buckle to the stats listing. Okay, yeah, so the Maleficium resistance and range damage do in fact translate into the material and therefore into the hat. Wow, okay, cool. Holt bloom was more health, I think. And there it is, maximum health goes up. Okay, cloth, same deal. We're going to pull in the Holt bloom, and we're at maximum health again. Okay, so this would be a decent hat in the ability for what I have to make right now, but before I click this, and I don't want to do this too fast, I want to check something. So again, keep in mind thread and cloth are available things we could make. I'm not sure about this, but I think, say, cloth here can be made from something else. Cloth might be able to be made from animal fiber. I'm pretty sure thread is on here too. Thread might be, yeah. So skilled hands can use, requires 2 plant fibers to create or embellish, and then cloth doesn't really say. So I'm gonna try something with meat before I try this with any of my advanced stuff. Let's see if I have the ability to make animal fiber here. So we have lots of fabled meat on us. Doesn't appear that we have any other meat. So hang on a second. I thought I had some extra meat in here. I cooked it already. Alright, hang on a second. This is, I promise this is not totally a tangent. We are going to go out there and kill a deer or something, because I would like to see if the animal fiber also translates to making the thread and therefore making the I guess I got one though. Alright, so we're gonna make animal fiber off of that one. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if I have a knife. Oh, good. Okay, I do. I don't know if this prey hide situation is something, but bones prey. I just basically needed something to make animal fiber with, because I want to see if animal fiber can be used to make thread or cloth, and if it can, then I'll clearly be using the more advanced meat that I have, the fabled meat, to try to emphasize the bonuses that we were discussing earlier. Okay, so we're going to go into craft item here, choose animal fiber, and meat prey. Oh, won't let me select it. Interesting. So I can't just... what happens if I autofill? Autofills with fabled meat. I don't know. Hang on, what do I have? I have Monarch Locust. Okay, so that's pretty generic. There's quite a few of those in the desert. Let's go ahead and craft a animal fiber from Monarch Locust, which, by the way, has a decent stamina, stat, health rating, etc. Let's go ahead and craft that. And again, this is just to see if I can use it to make thread from animal fiber. So, no, I can't make thread with it. What about cloth? And no, I can't make cloth with it either. Okay, so that doesn't really matter for what we were doing earlier. And while it may be a bit of a waste, that's okay. The pack is currently ready to be built. We're going to build it with buckles. We're going to build it with Holt Bloom thread. And the cloth is also Holt Bloom. Now, I don't know what that means for coloring, but we'll see. Here we go. All right, excellent. Now, in the inventory, go through the list here. We currently are wearing a Trapper's Pack, and it's got a Charm of Rage on it, and I think I also had something else bonuses, an essence on it or something. But let's go ahead and unequip that, or maybe we already did unequip it. No, that was, sorry, the Jabberwock. That's the one I currently have on. We're going to unequip that one. That's 46 here. That's a decent loadout. I used the Jabberwock to make it, and I'll go ahead and keep that one. But we're going to go ahead and find the one that we just made, which I think is in here somewhere. I'm just not seeing it. Am I blind? How is this something that is escaping me? What did we just make? We made a pack, right? Trapper's Pack, Trapper's Pack. Yeah, one of these is Bess's, so that's not what we just made. My eyes are bad. I can't see this thing that we just made. Hang on a second. Oh, I haven't collected it. I got out of it. Okay, so cool. NTTC pack just got put on. I'm going to pull it off for just a second because I want to see side by side. So 33 is its tier 2 plus, but it's 33 maximum. Health is 60. I'm going to look and see really quickly too. Ranged damage 2. Ranged damage 6. So it's got some things that are already better. I love that it says characteristics. So all of those stats bonuses that we were talking about earlier, they're all based in there at the bottom where it says Holt Bloom Bombardier. Okay. So my previous Jabberwocky based pack has, trying to look and see where it says on there what it helps with as far as carrying weight, but oh, okay, so you can right click on it, see it all. All right, fantastic. So it shows infusions here, weight limit plus, environment resistance. These are the things from having all of the, I guess, the bits and bobs hanging around. Lumberjack. It doesn't seem to indicate here what the, oh, maximum weight here, 110. Okay. All right, well, let's go to the one we just made and see what that looks like. 150, so more weight capacity. We have injuries, blah, blah, blah. Durability is higher. So that's good. And we'll get some infusions and stuff in it now. So, all right, go ahead and wear that. Everything bonus is up over here, which is fantastic. I love seeing that. And we should be seeing some critical damage. I think a ranged damage potentially. Yeah, 0.06. So not a full one, but at least something. All right, let me go ahead and walk over to this thing. Let's see if we've got enough tier 2 essence to make an essence to infuse that pack with. Now the essences will give us some of those extra bonuses. Let's take a look here. There are a handful we could probably do. Going down the list, we've got a durability one. Probably not going to bother with that right now. Durability, ranged damage. I will be wearing this pack all of the time. Infusion increases ranged damage. Let's see if there's anything for melee damage, because that's going to be useful too. Critical damage. Maximum stamina, maximum health, stealth, magic injury resistance. How much? Doesn't really say. Health regeneration might be useful. Fire resistance, stamina regeneration, poison resistance, melee damage, etc. Weight limit. You know, it might actually make sense to do this, so let's go with weight limit. I'm hesitating because it just adds 10. Hang on a second. What is speed? Increased movement speed by 1.2%. I mean, I can imagine that if you had everything with increased movement speed, you could really move around quite quickly. Kind of the dodging aspect. I have been complaining about character feeling really slow. And I'm not really giving him time to regen his health. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna go with speed enhancement here. So speed enhancement is, oops, not that. It's gonna be in here. Time infusion, sorry. So right clicking on it and hitting apply, and then getting to pick where it goes is gonna be over here. And we're gonna apply it there. All right, excellent. All right, let's go ahead and pause right there for a moment. Like and subscribe if you want to follow along with the rest. We're going to go ahead and state this is the end of session 8, and I'll bring back the rest of this crafting session in as session 9 so that this doesn't get a little bit too long. I appreciate you guys watching if you watched this far, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.